this week has seen a bright new star hit the road. As the head of jewellery in an established auction house, Christina Trevanian knows the importance of protecting your valuables.
Go away, go away!
And having won the last leg,
I don't believe it.
she's going to great lengths to stay on top.
As it's my first road trip.
Cheeky. Also vying for victory is road trip regular auctioneer Charles Hanson. And after defeat last time, he's gearing up for a fight.
Christina, I'm ready for Birkenhead.
Their chariot taking them into battle is this rather fetching 1969 Morris Minor.
Yeah, let's get to a shop, Christina. I'm mad for it. I'm mad for it.
Ooh, he's excited. New girl Christina began this trip with a bang, pushing her starting budget of £200 up to £203.50p. Charles also started with £200 but ended the day at a loss and has £172.20p to spend today. The route for the week takes our intrepid road trippers from Whaley Bridge in Derbyshire over Peak and Dale to their final destination of Cobridge in Staffordshire, covering approximately 600 miles. On this leg, they'll travel from Manchester, making their way to auction in Birkenhead on the Wirral. The world's first industrialised city, Manchester is today famed for its music, sport and culture.
But, you know, Manchester has so much to offer.
It does?
You know, it's diverse culture, you've got hip, funky antique shops, and you've got the traditional Victoriana.
Onward, chaps, to our first stop of the day.
Okay, I race you in.
Just like children. Mark you, Charles has got some catching up to do. The Levenshume Antiques Village has 20 individual shops to explore, so happy hunting.
Well, stay focused. Not here for shopping, am I?
No, you're not, Christina.
Do you think it suits me?
Oh, smoking. And I'm happy to see she's not taking this competition sitting down.
That's really nice. I like that. That's quite fun. So it's a good sturdy thing.
She's smitten. Ticket price £25. But is shop owner Sally willing to deal?
I saw this chair. It just sort of caught my eye. And I really quite liked it. Do you know anything about it? Any history behind it?
I think it's an artist chair because it's got this little seat where you keep your paint brushes and paint.
Is there any flexibility on the price? I was thinking at auction it would probably make maybe £15, and I need to make a profit against that pesky Charlie Hanson.
Righty-ho.
What's your thoughts?
Well, I could do it for 15.
It's a deal. Thank you, Sal. You're
Thank
a
you.
star.
Christina's off the mark, but Charles needs help and puts in a sneaky call to the auctioneer.
My great passion, James, is often buy big, buy monumental, buy furniture. And I like buying it. Don't buy furniture. Okay. Don't touch it. Thanks very much. See you in Birkenhead.
The auctioneer's top tip: don't buy furniture. That's easy advice to follow, Charles. Or maybe not. And what's this? Christina's also getting the inside scoop from the auction house.
Silver, lots of silver. Charles has already been on phone.
Watch out, Charles. She's on to you.
Have you got something to tell me?
No? No, like what?
Don't lie, Carlos.
Have you been making any phone calls?
I may have phoned a friend. No, I gave the auctioneer a call.
Oh, did you?
In Birkenhead, yeah.
Were you going to tell me about this phone call?
No, this is, well, you know, it's playback time, you know. I'm trying to get myself back in, you know.
Charlie
a role-
Hanson.
I know.
Right, that's it. The gloves are off, baby.
Feisty, eh? Having already bought furniture, Christina's seeking out something a little different, and Barry's shop might be just the place.
My goodness, there's a lot of stuff here.
Yeah, I'll say. And clever Christina's spotted some silverware.
I'm trying to put together a lot of silver plate that is going to do well at the auction. And I think Barry might be my man.
While Christina gathers her riches, Charles just can't tear himself away from furniture. No, Charles, come on.
Everything here is furniture.
It's because it's a furniture shop. Just follow Christina's lead. Sneaky boy.
Don't you dare keep...
Is it for sale?
Go away, go away. No, this Barry's my mate now.
Yeah. How are you, mate? How are you, mate?
All falling apart very, very swiftly.
I'll leave you to it, ladies first. I'm ever so sorry, Barry. I'll let you do a deal with Christina first, okay? My apologies. The plate, by the way.
Ow!
Barry's got them fighting over him now. Well, he is a man with some bright ideas.
I'm thinking that's quite cool at the moment, isn't it?
Christina's interest has been sparked by this pair of enamelled industrial downlighters. But can she get them for the right price?
So those are marked up at
50.
for the pair?
No.
Yeah.
No, that's each.
Oh, go on, Barry.
And you can have them for 30 each.
But I think we would sell them as a pair, you see. I would want to put them in as a pair.
Give me 50 quid the pair.
50 quid the pair. Go on, Barry. You're a man. Thank you very much. I like those. And then let's go and have a look at the silver plate.
Can he do her another deal with a silver lining?
£20 for that one. 20 for that one.
Oh, Barry, what?
£5 each for those.
What's that one got on it?
£3.
£3 on it. I think the bowl is probably more saleable
Yeah.
than the basket. What about 20 for that?
Oh, he's happy with that, I think.
Okay.
20 quid.
Yeah.
Thank you ever so much.
Thanking
You're
you.
a star. Thank you. Off I trot.
There you go.
Cool. She's one happy customer. Walking away with a job lot. The silver-plated pedestal rose bowl. A pair of trumpet vases. Nut dishes. And Barry's thrown in an early 20th century silver napkin ring. All for £20. Good going, Christina. Crikey. Right, Charles, you're up.
Look at the planes. Look at the flag. Look at the horns. I could be flying here. Barry, is this all for sale outside here as well?
Everything, yeah.
Everything. I quite like this man down here. He's tired.
Yeah.
He's a bit discoloured.
He's a gnome, Charles.
Where did he come from? Did your father make him, you say?
Father-in-law made them, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Going back to what, the 1930s?
No, probably 50s.
50s. There's also one more down there, Barry, as well.
Yeah.
Another garden gnome. If I bought the two together, Barry, what's your best price?
£10 a pair.
£10 a pair.
Yeah. There you go.
If I said to you, a fiver for the two together.
No. No, you've got to pay 10 of the pair.
Meet me halfway,
No,
£8.
not meeting anywhere. 10 of the pair. 10 of the
Get
pair.
out of here.
I think Barry prefers Christina, and I don't blame him.
So if I bought the two, Barry, the best price between mates would be
£10.
not a penny less.
Not a penny less.
Thanks, mate.
Stalemate. And after some consultation,
Yeah, it's talking to you now.
Charles buys one gnome for £5.
Okay, Chris. Yeah, I know. It's you and me now, mate. Okay, we'll ditch Christina. Okay, Chris, happy? Yeah, we're off. See you later.
Thanking you.
A talking gnome called Chris. I think he's losing it, that boy. With that, he's off to his next shop. Meanwhile, Christina's heading for a history lesson by foot. The Manchester Jewish Museum is the only one of its kind in Britain outside London and can be found in a former synagogue. The museum tells the story of Manchester's Jewish community. Having been popular with traders since the 1740s, the city's cotton trade soon attracted Jewish entrepreneurs who left a lasting legacy in Manchester and further afield. And Christina's come to hear all about it from curator Alexandra Grime.
This is beautiful. beautiful.
It is.
It's
It
just
is.
breathtaking.
It was
isn't it?
built in 1874, the building.
1874.
Yeah, it was originally a synagogue, as you can probably tell.
Yeah.
And the community moved out in 1982 and it became this museum.
The synagogue would have been a place of worship for the Sephardi Jews and is built in the style of their Spanish and Portuguese ancestors.
You can see on this column here, they've done some paint scraping and found what the columns used to look like.
Very ornate.
It
isn't it? You
is.
can see some of the gilding and the...
It would have been beautiful, and they did a stencil from that and they recreated what it would have looked like on that column over there.
So very glitzy, really.
Very glitzy and glam.
Very glitzy.
Towards the end of the 18th century, families from places like Corfu and Syria came to settle in the city. As the population grew, they built up communities, places of worship and their businesses, particularly in the clothing industry, and they went from strength to strength.
One really interesting guy is called Benjamin Hyam, and what he's doing is selling ready-made garments, proper suits, much more affordable. A lot more people can afford the suit, and it really, really catches on, this ready-made rather than, you know, tailored items.
OK, oh gosh.
So-
Right, so this is the start of the high street shop.
Absolutely. By 1851, he opens a shop
This is
like
his
this.
shop?
This is his shop, and he has very important visitors. Charles Dickens mentions this shop, as does Benjamin Disraeli. They're visitors when they're in town.
I never would have had Disraeli as a man with a suit off the rack. My God, wow.
In the decades preceding World War I, the population in Manchester increased as Jews fled persecution. Fearing a backlash, the established community tried to anglicise the new arrivals, opening schools to teach English and introducing them to some good old British staples.
They have clubs aimed at organising their recreation, so they bring brass bands and they're playing cricket and things like that.
Brass bands?
Yes, good old Lancashire tradition.
Brilliant, I love it.
Which is what this item is so fantastic. This is actually a washboard brought over in 1910, and you can see it's very worn, and that's because it was never used as a washboard in Manchester. Leon actually used it as a cricket bat when he was here.
Brilliant.
Which I think is such a great story. He's come over from Eastern Europe and he's made his washboard into a cricket bat.
That's very resourceful.
Can't get a better example of anglicisation than that.
Alex, thank you so much for having us today. It's been an absolute pleasure. I've learnt an awful lot.
Thank you for coming.
With only a gnome called Chris to his name, Charles is hitting the shop skin, this time in Sale. A thriving commuter town in Greater Manchester, Sale boasts the 250-year-old Bridgewater Canal. At its peak, the canal carried more than 3 million tonnes of traffic, much of it fueling the Industrial Revolution. Today, it carries a lighter load of ducks and leisure barges.
I'm on a mission to outdo Christina. My strategy is to really play big, and that's where I am, and I'm just going to go for it.
With a strategy in place, Charles is pinning his hopes on the Manchester Antiques Company and owner, John Long.
Hello. How are you? Good to see you. I'll go for a wander. Thanks, John.
This could spell disaster for Charles. He's in a room full of furniture. But can he resist?
A tenner. I mean, this is a tenner, and it's just a lovely little luggage stand. It's Victorian, and if it could talk, what could it tell you?
Oh, really, Charles? There's no telling you, old fruit.
The fact is, I've been told in Birkenhead, in no uncertain terms by James the auctioneer, don't buy furniture. So, maybe you wave it goodbye. So long.
By Jove, I think he's got it at last.
That's a very nice, unframed, oil-on canvas, a portrait of a gentleman with his telescope, with a sailing vessel in the background. How much would that be, John, if I asked you a price?
£75.
God. OK, I'll give it some thought.
With his nemesis Christina in the lead, Charles has a fight on his hands and spots the perfect piece to take into battle.
And maybe if I turned up to reveal my wares wearing this, she might take note of me.
Oh, yeah. This replica 15th century suit of armour would have been made in the early 20th century for educational or theatrical purposes. Crikey, is young Charles arming himself for war? He looks the part.
Christina, I'm ready for Birkenhead.
Or perhaps pistols at dawn.
This is the time of William IV, it's George IV, it's a dueling type pistol, and it's 180 years old. And you can see that because this handle here is just about to fall off. But in a... Oops, it has fallen off, actually.
Silly boy.
Oh, dear me. Well, that's just great, isn't it? Might have to buy it now, just regardless. It is pretty tired, but the reason I like it is it's in its original condition. It could never be fired now, and it's purely a relic, and it could be cheap. And that's it, really. It could be cheap.
He's gone gun-ho in this place with 3 items in his sights. The canvas, circa 1820, the coaching pistol, and the armour all belong to John's son, Wayne. So, can our Carlos cut a deal over the phone with our John, Wayne's son?
Wayne, it's Charles Hanson. If you don't make an offer, Wayne, you never know. And I've got 167 and 20p. There's no way you could do me a deal for all 3 of them. Wayne wants you. I'm hoping son and fatherly love can do me a deal.
You better win, he said.
Huh?
You better win.
Is that a deal?
It's a deal, yeah.
It's victory for Chancellor Charles.
I've got 167 and 20 pence.
Yes.
Could you leave me a pound, making 166.20p, just for tomorrow? Because I've got to go into Cheshire tomorrow with a pound.
Now, that's pushing it.
I'll pay you my entire budget for a pound change.
OK.
Going.
Gone.
Sold.
Gone.
Thanks, John. Come here, John. Come here, John. Thanks, John.
It's enough to melt a heart and steel this. But wait, there's more.
Crikey me. These aren't part of the armour, are they, John?
Yes.
Are they part of the suit of armour?
They are part of
Are
the
they
suit.
really? They came with a collection?
They did, yes.
Really? Well, that's a bonus. As you say, on guard, Christoph. Oh my goodness. Hey, John, that's bigger than mine.
Boys will be boys. I think you'd best be off. And having reached the end of day 1, it's time to wind down and recharge, ready for more antique antics tomorrow. Night-night, you two. It's a new day and a new opportunity to brag about yesterday's purchases.
I had an amazing day yesterday.
Have you spent everything?
I barely slept last night. I was just so excited.
Sun shining. It's going to be a good day today.
Gosh, they're chipper this morning. Yesterday, Christina parted with £85 and bought 3 items. The Swivel Artist's chair, a silver napkin ring along with her collection of silver-plated wares, and a pair of industrial downlighters, which means she has £118 and 50p to spend today. Charles, meanwhile, has spent £171 20p on 4 lots. The gnome, he's called Chris, an oil painting, the 15th century style suit of armour, and the early 19th century coaching pistol, leaving him with £1 lonely pound to see him through the day. First destination of the day is the market town of Knutsford. Recorded in the Domesday Book of 1086, Knutsford is perhaps best known as the home of 19th century Cranford novelist Elizabeth Gaskell. With Christina heading to the shops, Charles is heading back in time at nearby Tatton Park, a beautifully preserved mansion set within 1,000 acres of parkland. And perhaps its most intriguing former resident was the highly educated, very talented, some might say it girl of her generation, Elizabeth Edgerton.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good morning. Good to see you. Now, I'm hoping you might be Elizabeth.
No, I'm Caroline Schofield, the House and Collections Manager at Tatton.
And I'm here today not to, I suppose, learn about the house itself, but more about a young lady called Elizabeth.
That's right.
And her husband, who was...
Wilbraham.
Tell me about them.
Well, Elizabeth and Wilbraham lived at Tatton Park in the early 19th century. And when they came here, the house was Partly redeveloped. Wilbraham had inherited from his father, William.
Yes.
So they completed the house as it is today.
So they really were an it and fashionable couple who were leading taste at Tatton in that late 18th century.
Elizabeth had been educated in London, so she was a very knowledgeable and cultured young lady.
Yes, yeah.
But at the same time, the house they developed was very much a family home.
Yes.
They went on to have 8 children together, and live here very happily, I think.
Yes. She sounds quite a catch. What a great catch.
Yeah.
Elizabeth and her husband not only completed the house, but also furnished it in the latest style and built up the estate's impressive collection of literature.
Here's a little treat, something I wanted to show you. This is a first edition copy of Pride and Prejudice, which is signed Elizabeth Edgerton,
Yes.
and was bought for her to read here at Tatton.
And this is a first edition from the year...
Yeah. 1813.
God, it's just a pleasure to just, see some of her writings. "Come, Darcy," said he, "I must have you dance. I hate to see you standing about by yourself in this stupid manner. You had much better dance." I like to dance.
Yeah.
I like music as well.
First a reading, and now he's after a dance. Well, there's only one place for it, Charles.
So this is the music room, and then here you've got a manuscript book. Elizabeth in fact, had a number of manuscript books bound where she has copied down music, probably from pieces that friends may have had or that family members may have had, and they're sharing pieces of music between them and copying the notation down so that they can then play the music themselves. So she's obviously quite an accomplished singer and pianoforte or keyboard player.
And seeing how this whole setting sits, obviously you've got this wonderful room with these 2 big doors. This is a music room, and maybe through there could have been an area where you could just have a little dance.
Oh, do behave, Charles.
So if I go next door,
Yeah.
you tickle the ivories, and I'll listen, okay? Maybe a little dance.
With Charles dancing the afternoon away with his Elizabeth, Christina's having a ball all of her own. What fun. Her first shop of the day is on the smallest street in Cheshire and is the aptly named Knutsford Antique Centre. With 3 floors to explore, can this jewellery expert find a hidden diamond in the rough?
My daughter would love that. Decoy duck, fantastic.
The duck may fall foul of her affections, but soon her cup runneth over.
Oh, that's lovely. It's Charlie, look, Charlie me dancing. Oh, that's got to be Charlie, hasn't it?
As well as Charles getting his groove on, this 19th century Staffordshire polychrome mug is decorated with couples dancing a jig. Ticket price, £35.
It's nice, got a little crack there, which would be a bit of a concern.
A cracking piece indeed.
Well, it's never going to make me a fortune, but it's just a great print. You can really sense that sort of, that you're in the middle of the dance, that enthusiasm and vibrance, and I mean, they're having a great time, aren't they? It's a proper shindig there, and I like that very much.
If you're buying that mug, then best seek out Manager Gordon.
These little chappies caught my eye.
Yeah.
I thought they were quite fun. Now, Gordon.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind it's cracked,
Oh, I see what she did there.
what's your thoughts on, because it's marked up at £35.
Here she goes.
I need to be able to make a profit on it at auction, and at auction I can see it fetching about 20 quid.
So what do you
So-
want to pay for it?
10.
No way. No way, I'm sorry.
Don't take him for a mug.
What's your
I thought
absolute
around
best
about
price?
30.
30?
Yeah.
Can you come down any more?
Perhaps 28, that's your limit.
Is absolutely that it?
Yeah.
What about 25?
No, I couldn't take that much off.
Go on.
Cash then.
Cash? Oh yeah, of course.
All right, do for 25.
Oh, you're a legend. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
She's good at this bargaining lark, you know. And now, with 4 lots, she's catching up with Charles and hitting the road. But this time, our delightful duo are heading to nearby Congleton. Don't give up the day jobs, you two. Sitting at the foothills of the Pennines and surrounded by beautiful countryside, this is a popular historic market town. Clutching his last pound, Charles is dropped off.
Bye.
Bye.
To fend for himself at the Victoria Mill Arts Centre.
It's a really nice antique centre with so much stuff here that I've only got. And that's £3. But it's really awful. Sounds better, 100 pence. It's not a pound, 100 pence.
What a cunning bit of PR, eh? But will it be enough to convince store owner Jeff?
It's quite nice, isn't it? It's garish.
That's right.
To some people it's unsightly, but it captures the age, doesn't it?
This stylish Art Deco vase is circa 1930. Problem is, it's also circa £15.
It's at 1,500 pence, isn't it?
That's £15.
£15.
To you, Charles,
Yeah,
it's 10, isn't it?
£10, yeah, well, we're close. No blemishes, no chips. It's 1,000 pence. And I love it. Somewhere in my pocket, I've got that. And that is my entire budget gone. But it's priced at £15, and all I have is that, one solid pound. And it's in good condition. Would you, sir, actually take £1 for it?
Normally, no, of course. Yeah. But this is exceptional, so yes, I will.
You're happy for me to have that vase for £1?
Certainly, yes.
Really? It's a no-brainer. I'm going to flick the pound, shake your hand, say,
Marvellous.
here's that pound, up it goes, that's yours,
Thank you very
that's
much.
mine,
Pleasure.
and I'm absolutely overjoyed.
Sure.
Thrilling, eh? It has great deal written all over it. But just to be sure,
I'm going to wander around these stallholders and just find out what they think of my vase for £1 and just see how much of a bargain it really is. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. That's mine in there.
Oh, is it? Do you like my vase, by the way?
I do, I love it.
Do you really love it? Do you like my vase, by the way?
I do, actually.
Do you? Why do you like it?
It's just the Art Deco style.
Yeah. What's it worth at auction?
40 quid,
£40. Thanks, mate.
Maybe 40.
There we go. Do you hear that? £40. I can't go wrong.
£40?
There we go. Fantastic. You're my friend as well. You're my friend as well. £40 all day long. Thanks, mate.
Oh, I'll eat my hat.
Oh, he'll eat his hat. Thank you very much.
with Charles now penniless, it's over to Christina. And she's making her way from Congleton to Wheelock.
Ah, Wheelock. Here we are.
We know that, Christina. Named after the river Wheelock, this little village is surrounded by countryside. The question is, can Christina up her game and charm Richard in Hidden Treasures into giving her a bargain?
Hi, I'm Christina. Nice to meet you. What have we got, Richard, that's a bit fresh that's going to make me a fortune that I can beat Charlie Hanson with? Come on, hit me with it.
Careful, Christina. There's a brick in there.
Yeah, what's the brick?
That's the royal wedding of Charles and Diana. It's one of a run of bricks that was used for a prison that they actually laid down the foundations for.
A royal wedding prison brick.
Yeah.
How much is on that?
£22.
Yeah, I think that might be a little bit risky.
The brick's no building block to profit, but can Christina see money in this early 20th century till? Ticket price, £25.
This is quite a sophisticated one, because the ones I've seen in the past haven't got a till roll with
Right,
them.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you would have just had your cashier's drawer, and it's still got, see, the workings in the top of it as well. So I'm quite pleased with it. I think it's quite fun.
She likes it.
As it's my first road trip,
Can Richard resist her persuasive charms?
£25 sounds like an awful lot of money.
Does it?
Go on, what's your best price?
20.
For a newbie, any less?
I'll do it for 15.
Really?
Yeah.
£15. I quite like that. So, go on, you've got yourself a deal. I like
Okay.
that. Brilliant.
Catching! A deal at £15 for the pine till. Right, Christina, are we off?
I think I fall in love with the brick.
You've done what?
No, I can't buy a brick. That's stupid.
£5 and it's yours. Yes.
£1. I'll give you £1 for the brick. Go on. I'll do it for £1, but it's such a risk. I'm going to lose money on it.
Since it's your first series, go on.
Really? Oh,
I'll do £1.
I
That's...
just bought a brick.
She's only gone and bought a brick.
Thanks very much. Thank you. Oh God, I'm never going to live this down.
Let's hope she's laying some foundations for a decent profit with that purchase. And with everyone all shopped out, Christina joins Charles back in Congleton to get a measure of the competition.
So first and foremost, Christina, I'm playing catch-up. I might just catch you with this lot.
Ooh. What is
He's
that?
called Chris.
He's your mate, Chris.
And he's my mate, Chris, OK?
What's he holding?
Well, I was going to put a couple of flowers in there for you, but I forgot. OK, it's been a long day. And over here is my great man who is looking out to sea, seeing the clipper ship and holding his telescope. He was in the shop for many years. They haven't sold him, so I bought him for £40.
Well done.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Oh,
There we
wow.
go. My friend here, Christoffel, is ready for battle.
He's awesome. Oh, I'm very jealous. He's awesome.
Isn't he amazing?
I love that.
Yeah,
and
he
his
says
sword
thanks.
and everything.
Finally, a real knight in shining armour. You can... I want him.
Yeah, OK, thanks. Can you hear that? It's a replica sword. It's blunt, and importantly, once again, being a replica, it's part of the whole attire, and it's an educational aid. And obviously, they've all belonged together when they were made originally. And he's wonderful, isn't he? He cost me £116.20p.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm nervous.
Well, I told you, I'm back.
Charles has amassed a strong arsenal. Can Christina follow suit?
Oh, my goodness me. The auctioneer, he was very upbeat about silver plate. And you've got a lovely, lovely array there of pierced, cast silver plate.
Yeah, and silver.
A napkin ring. Is it silver?
Yeah, it is
oh,
silver.
wow. That's heavy as well.
Well, exactly.
It is heavy. That's lovely quality.
Nice.
Look at me.
Yeah?
I reckon that little lot cost you
Yeah.
£32.
Well, 20.
Oh, that's cheap. That's really cheap.
Well, I thought, especially with that napkin ring. so-
Alone?
Yeah.
Now, you bought a brick.
That's what I said.
It's a very special brick.
OK, let me guess. Coronation Street.
No, it's a royal wedding, 1981.
Oh,
year I was born.
fabulous.
Very special year. Charles and Diana, C&D.
Yes.
Brick.
I would say that brick probably cost you £20.
Oh, close.
How much?
£1.
It didn't. £4.
And my pound lots do well.
you didn't buy
So I have high hopes for
You
my
are good with a
brick.
pound lot.
My,
Very good.
my career is ended. I bought
No,
a brick.
well done.
At the moment, Charlie, I'm bricking it.
Oh,
Should she be so worried, Charles? You're an old hand at this lark. Come on, be brave.
Christina's bought some really steady items, and Christina is my steady Eddie, and I'm convinced with her £1 brick with her other items, she'll make profits all round. But I'm not in to just be steady. I'm in to really impress Christina and go all out, or to say, Christina, at least I tried.
I'm surprised at how mediocre Charlie's stuff was. I really thought he'd go a bit wacky, and then he revealed his literally knight in shining armour, which I think is going to absolutely annihilate me. He's going to go tripping off into the sunset with a huge, great big profit after that knight in shining armour. I'm very jealous.
If I was a gambling man, I'd say, Hanson, your odds on favourite to take the auction and to take the mantle of being in the lead.
Well, there's only one way to find out, so onwards and upwards to the auction in Birkenhead.
If you saw me, you know, dressed in the cell room today, in that suit of armour,
Yeah.
what would you think that body is worth?
I would think it's got to be better than how you're dressed as you currently are.
Oh, thanks!
The town of Birkenhead runs along the bank of the River Mersey and has boasted a ferry service for over 800 years, when Benedictine monks would have gone back and forth to Liverpool, rowing.
Good luck, partner.
Good luck.
Auction number 2.
Auction number 2, let's go.
Our daring duo are going into battle in today's general sale at Kruger Gibbon. They both got advice at the start, so what does auctioneer James Gibbon think now? Have they bought good lots or not? Look at his stash.
I think the gnome has to be my favourite lot. It's silly and it's quirky. They're fun and very British. I think some of the things will fly and I think some of them are going to die. But that's part of the game. That's all the fun of the day. And let's face it, the buyers will decide today.
Christina started this leg in the lead with £203.50p. She splashed out £126 on 5 lots and still has £77.50p in cash. Just like last time, Charles has spent his entire £172.20p budget and has come armed with 5 lots. Over to the first of today's 2 auctioneers, mustachioed James Gibbon. Let battle commence! First up is Christina, but will it be treasure or travesty?
I'll start at 10. £10, 10 I have. 12 I have. 14. 16. 16 new bidder at the back. Come on. 18, the ladies come back in again. £1,800. 20 by the door.
Good price.
She's back again. 22. I'm selling it, ladies and gentlemen. £22.
It's a roller coaster.
Ow! More of a travesty, actually, as that £2 profit will be wiped out after auction house costs. Another one now for Christina, the 19th century Staffordshire mug. Can auctioneer Adrian Kruger help jig her into a profit?
Start me on this one, please, someone at £15. Come on. 10 to start, thank you, Tina.
You've got 1,000 pence.
12 I have. 14 I have. 16, 18, 20, 22. 20 I have. £20 it is.
Well done.
Charlie, I paid £25 for it.
Oh, did you? Oh, 20.
Oh, do pay attention, Charles. It's going downhill for our girl with her second loss of the day. Can Charles do any better? He's certainly all fired up.
£10 I have. I have 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36.
By history,
Do they realise the handle's falling off?
£44 I have.
Well done, Charlie. Brilliant.
I'm selling at 44.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, sir. A tenner.
Oh, wow.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, mate. Thanks, mate. Thanks, mate.
Even he's impressed. And with that, Charles is off. Can trusted friend Chris do any better for him?
Start me off at £10 on the garden gnome, please. 10 I've got. Thank you. Ladies of class and distinction. 12, thank you. 12. Are we going 14? 14. 16. 18. 20.
They're all over it, Charlie.
You know you want like a rat. 22. 24. 26.
Keep going, Chris.
28. 30. 32. £32. I'm selling at 32. Thank you, madam.
Well done, you.
£27 profit there, Charles. Now that's no joke. Back to Christina now. She's trying to build up profits, brick by brick.
Who'll start me on this one, please, at £10? £10 anywhere? Come on. 5 to start, thank you.
Take it, yeah, I'll take it.
5 I have. 6 I have.
How could you do
7
that?
I have. £8, £9, 10, £11 I have. 12?
Genius.
£12 I have to the lady on our left. All finished at 12.
Who'd have guessed that, eh? Profit at last, and from an old brick, no less. Now for Charles's £1 offering, the Art Deco vase.
Very, very stylish, lovely piece.
Why didn't you do this with my arse piece?
£10.
Ooh, well done.
£10 I have. 12 I have. 14 I have. 16. 16 I have with the gentleman in the middle. 16 I have. Do I see 18? 18 I have. 20. 20. It's selling at 20. 22 I have. £22 I have. All finished under £22.
I say, Charles, that's a flowery profit. Christina's combined her swivel chair and pine till, hoping it'll make her a pretty packet.
And I'm straight in with a commission bid at £30. £30 You've done it. 32. I'm going to go 34. 36 I'm out. It's in the room at £36. I'm selling at 36. Are we all done? 36, ladies and gentlemen.
So close, but her profit will again be eaten up by costs. Can Charles do any better with his maritime canvas? Anchors away.
Lots of interest in this on commission.
Commission bids, eh? This could get interesting.
And I can go 30, 35, 40, 50, 60,
Here we go.
70,
Hanson, you're rolling.
80, 90, 100.
I say it's flying.
40, £160 I have.
Oh, Hanson.
£160.
Oh my God.
Are we all done at £160? Looks like we are.
£103 profit.
I'm just going to go home now.
So childish. So that's plain sailing into hefty profits, Charles. Full steam ahead, old boy. Christina's got one lot left, but can they light up her life?
I have commission bids on these, and I can start them with me at 50, 52, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, £90 I have on commission.
Brilliant, brilliant.
£90 I have on commission. Other than at £95 on commission.
Oh, thank you, Dom.
No, well done.
It's good, but with Charles already in the lead and with one lot to go, looks like she's lost this battle. So, is Charles charging towards victory?
Commission bids again I have on this, and I can start it with me at 100, 110, 120.
Great, we're on proper money.
Perfect.
120 I have. 125, I go 130. 135 and it's in the room. 140 I have.
Brilliant.
150 I have. 160, 170, 180, 190.
Brilliant.
200.
Oh, God.
220.
Come on.
Are we all finished and done at 220? We are.
Well done, Charlie. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Soak up that applause, Charles. You deserve it. And with that, the new girl loses her lead. Christina Trevanion started this leg with £203.50p. After auction costs, she's made a profit of £25.70p, which makes her total for the next round £229.20p. But with everything to prove, Charles Hanson began with a reduced £172.20p and has made a magnificent profit of £219.76p after costs. This gives him a head start with a whopping £391.96p to spend next time.
I really can't believe it.
No, well, no, quite seriously, I can't either.
And now you drive me home, don't you?
Nope, you can drive.
Why?
Because I'll let you.
Really? You sure?
Yeah, just this one.
Are you happy?
Just this one.
Great. The day gets better and better and better. Honestly.
On the next leg of the Antiques road trip, Christina proves she's got to grips with life on the road.
Oh, my goodness.
And Charles runs into an old friend.
This man is almost a lookalike of Charlie Ross. You're a good man, Bean.
It's the Thoroughbreds from your